Those of you who are watching certain news channels that on which I'm not very popular, and you see folks waving tea bags around.
But we also have breaking news out of Syria, where we are getting our first look at what happened when government forces hit a hospital in an airstrike yesterday. This young boy was inside an Aleppo hospital when we are told rockets hit. Oh, look at that terrible picture. Oh, good God. The boy screaming as doctors race to treat him under the threat of more attacks. That boy caught in the crossfire is hurt so severely, this is all the video we can air of his treatment. It comes as the United Nations declared today that the Syrian regime, sorry, that was hard to watch, is committing war crimes against humanity. Steve Harrigan is inside Syria for us. Steve?
Those of you who are watching certain news channels that on which I'm not very popular, you see folks waving tea bags around.
In 1982, Anwar Sadat traveled to Israel, a trip that resulted in a peace agreement that has lasted ever since. In the spirit of that type of bold leadership, would you be willing to meet separately, without precondition, during the first year of your administration in Washington or anywhere else, with the leaders of Iran, Syria, Venezuela, Cuba, and North Korea, in order to bridge the gap that divides our countries?
I should also point out that Stephen is in the crowd tonight. Senator Obama?
I would. And the reason is this, that the notion that somehow not talking to countries is punishment to them, which has been the guiding diplomatic principle of this administration, is ridiculous. Now, Ronald Reagan and Democratic presidents like JFK constantly spoke to Soviet Union at a time when Ronald Reagan called them an evil empire. And the reason is because they understood that we may not trust them, they may pose an extraordinary danger to this country, but we have the obligation to find areas where we can potentially move forward. And I think that it is a disgrace that we have not spoken to them. We've been talking about Iraq. One of the first things that I would do in terms of moving a diplomatic effort in the region forward is to send a signal that we need to talk to Iran and Syria, because they're going to have responsibilities if Iraq collapses. They have been acting irresponsibly up until this point, but if we tell them that we are not going to be a permanent occupying force, we are in a position to say that they are going to have to carry some weight in terms of stabilizing the region.
Look at that terrible picture. Oh, good God. The boy screaming as doctors race to treat him under the threat of more attacks. That boy caught in the crossfire is hurt so severely, this is all the video we can air of his treatment. It comes as the United Nations declared today that the Syrian regime, sorry, that was hard to watch, is committing war crimes against humanity. Steve Harrigan is inside Syria for us. Steve?
And you see folks waving tea bags around.